So as we talked about the last couple of videos, Donald Trump wants the Korean workers that he arrested to come back.
But no one wants to go back
Why not?
because they handcuff and chain them.
Yeah, yeah. And now the Korean government is like looking into human rights,
Mm,
lawsuits and things kind
mm.
of things. So what kind of stuff happened?
And now there is more interviews of people.
Yeah.
So people say, when they got there, they changed and they took the mugshot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They did the
Interesting.
mugshot. Totally criminal stuff, right?
And we know they took their clothes, I think.
They after they changed to criminal clothes,
Hmm.
they took the mugshot. And when they have an interview with
Hmm.
them, they kind of make fun of his eyes, like, and they know that we are from South Korea, right?
Right,
But
right.
you're Ni Hao, and you're from North Korea, Kim Jong Un, a rocket man,
I see, I see. And if you guys don't understand the Ni Hao thing, that would be Chinese, but
Mm,
just making fun of like all Asians speak
Asian,
Chinese
yeah,
kind of thing. So I'm not shocked. I mean,
yeah. It's not shocked.
just so what people have said about the ICE detention center, like it's the only job in town kind of thing.
Mm.
And then it's a really low paid job and there's just not really good people work at the detention center.
Yeah, so
So
the people
mhm,
people said they seems like they're
mhm.
untrained.
Oh, they said that actually
Yeah,
even.
they said that, what? Actually,
Oh,
you think about it, even, if
right.
most of them were guys, right?
Hmm.
They probably went to the military in Korea, most
Yeah,
of them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm sure that they are better, have a gun skill than
yeah.
I people, right?
If not all of them were in the military.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys don't know, military service is mandatory in Korea. So
Mm,
pretty much everyone goes. There's occasionally someone doesn't go, but basically
mm.
everyone serves in the military. So yeah, there's a high chance that the Korean workers that they ICE arrested has
Yeah.
more actual training than
And
us.
ice people.
Yeah, that's a good point. What else happened in the prison? Because we don't actually hear that much in the American news about this stuff at all.
Mm. So we talked about it, they put like 70 people in one room,
Right, 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 right.
and they only have a few toilet and shower,
Oh, that's right.
and
That's
there
right.
is no door and no wall, and people had to, eat and sleep in front of the toilet.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. So there's no like cafeteria then.
No, no, no,
Oh, I
no,
didn't hear that.
no. So it was,
Also, then and I'm just talking out loud. So I'm gonna guess they wouldn't give them knives or forks,
I don't think so. I
right? Because
think,
it's a prison. I don't think you. So they're eating it with their
and
hands,
yeah,
like
and people even think they just gave them expired food.
that's a high
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, yeah, really bad food.
So if you guys don't know, this is a for-profit prison,
Mm,
right? So I mean, literally it's for-profit. So the idea would be you cut your costs by giving them old food. So
mm.
other people have said that sometimes it's animal food, like you have your food.
Oh.
But then other people said no, it's actually worse than animal food because you want to feed your animals because if you want
Yeah,
healthy
even
animals,
some
so
people say
you
even
know.
water smells bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So maybe they wouldn't drink it, even water.
So these stories are just now coming out, and you didn't even tell me more
Mm,
than I knew because when they first came off the plane, they went straight to the bus to go meet their families,
mm.
basically, and stuff. And you just
They need
I
to
don't I don't I don't
rest.
want to sit and talk to
Yeah.
reporters for a couple hours.
No.
So when people get arrested, and also to your, I would say you're in shock because you just got off the plane, you
Mm.
traveled really far, plus you had that terrible deal.
And yeah, yeah, you have like mentally, you're
Absolutely,
very
absolutely,
exhausted, You have you still, what's going on, what's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on, and you have to time to think about it, right?
So I heard people didn't sleep.
Because it's hard to sleep because it's, their condition is really bad and dirty,
Mm,
and it was really cold.
yeah.
And some people actually need a pill to sleep, right? They asked them,
Oh. Mhm.
I need my medicine, but they wouldn't give.
So then how are local people reacting to this whole thing?
Of course, we are mad
Right,
about it.
right.
Yeah, so they're even after that,
Hmm.
right away, Rubio kind of threatening with the tariff. You should give me you should give a whole cash,
Is that Rubio?
right?
It should be Letnick
Oh,
or
well, I'm sorry, Lotney.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So Letnick's the guy with the slick back hair.
Mm.
Rubio's the guy that used to like fight with Trump. And then there's Besant, but I don't think he's involved with this stuff. So I think
Mm,
Besant's busy with China right now.
mm.
Yeah, so Lutnick keeps kind of threatening, and then Lutnick has been blaming the Korean companies for this whole thing, which is kind of stupid. Was that?
Yes, because you can really you can really blame Korean company
Mhm.
because they knew that we are working with the ESTA visa and B1 visa,
Right,
B2
right,
visa
right,
before.
right,
It's
right.
not just, only one time.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So it's not like, oh my God, where did all these people come from? Like, this factory has been announced for a while.
Mm.
These are temporary workers, and if you guys curious about this kind of stuff, there's 2 points I want to make. So one is when Fox News first reports things, they'll just throw out a whole bunch of allegations, right? And then they don't finish the story. And so then people who are MAGA, they either hear Fox News or what they
Yeah.
see on Facebook. So like if you guys remember, the one woman was like, "Oh, there's a
There's
bunch
a
of
dead body, right?
yeah," and
Nonsense.
and now she completely quit talking
Mm.
about the Korean stuff. Now she's talking about Charlie Kirk all day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of stuff that they do, and just make it really clear. I'll just tell you guys, you can go to the website for yourself, easily Google it. One would be B1 or B2 visa, which a lot of these people had.
Mm.
Another one would be E-Star, and when you look at the key line here, where it's vague, it says business consulting is okay. And then the other one, which is really important, is that the visas are basically saying if you get paid from a U.S. source, maybe that's no good. But my understanding of it, and the reason I say understanding is because there's like 300 some people that they're getting paid from Korea. This is a business trip,
Yeah.
basically. So basically, they're on a business trip. They're going to only be for whatever, a couple months or whatever. Everyone's going to have a different situation. Then they're going to go home. They're not coming to steal American jobs.
No.
They're coming to make jobs. So,
Make job, and after they
yeah.
finish their work, then you can get a job there.
Right. So like I'm saying, so before I told you guys the same story before, and I just wasn't sure because there's still 300 so people or whatever. But now that I'm getting more of the information, kind of how ICE did it, and I heard that too, the ICE people kind of come across as untrained. And then there was a really interesting thing when they weren't sure what they were charged on because everyone thought like, what's going on? We're all legal, like there's no problem.
Because
What's that?
first ICE people came there, they checked the visa, and they B1, B2 people, they checked their visa, they went back, and after that, they come back with a bunch of heli and a
Oh,
military
interesting. I didn't hear that part.
car.
Also, they came like twice.
Mm.
Oh, see, they don't tell us everything in the
Yeah.
American news. Oh, okay, so that would think how weird that would be then. The other thing that I heard also, I guess you're not know what you're charging, right? You have no idea. They throw you in the detention. The people have guns and just like, hey, get on the bus, and just like you just they have guns and they have masks. But then I guess when the lawyer and then like embassy people came from Korea. I don't know how long that was, if that was like a day after or 2 days.
I think longer than that.
So let's just say a couple days after. We don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Then they started to figure out, oh, there's some sort of problem with our paperwork. Like that, it was kind of weird. And then they forced people to sign something in English.
In English, but many of them, they don't speak English.
Right.
So they don't know what that is.
Right.
So they didn't have a translator.
And people were talking about themselves because you have to make this really clear. Like these people aren't stupid. They're like the highly educated workers in Korea. So that's why like many documented, took notes on stuff.
Yeah. But you know what?
What's that?
There, even if educated people, some don't speak English.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're smart enough to know it kind of like.
But ICE people make fun of them. You don't speak English.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, it's. What's that?
And I think after they took them, I think company tried to talk to them, interview them, visit them, right? But ICE, they kind of blocked it.
Yeah,
first time.
There's a lot of human rights stuff with here because like the whole situation is like tell me what I'm being charged with. Can I talk to a lawyer? Like that. So there's that kind of stuff, more sort of I guess legal kind of things. And then there's the other stuff of like how was I treated? How was I fed? There's any number of situations. And then make this also really clear. The U.S. hasn't charged these people with anything, and there's no penalty because they got voluntary leave. And so because like just think of it this way. If let's say, for example, that the Trump people said, okay, all these people are criminals, it would be like headline news, 300 and some Koreans are criminals. Like Fox, Fox would run that headline, right? But they didn't. They're completely silent on the story. So that's what I always said when the person who claims there's dead bodies at Hyundai or the Fox
News.
Just show it.
That people just remember, the handcuffed Korean, right?
Right.
Then they imagine the Korean is all criminal.
Well, because for the Fox News viewers, they already have a sort of like negative against people who aren't let's be honest, aren't white or aren't American.
Yeah. So after that, the LG and Hyundai has other factories in America, right? So they told employees come back to Korea. So there starts coming back to Korea.
I'm not surprised. So this is really, really damaging to the USA. I showed you guys in the last video. You can just find out in the last video, but NBC had a chart or a map's a better word where all the factories are, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like billions of dollars, like a lot of money. It's like this stuff adds up, 10 billion here, 10 billion there. One was like 60 billion, 10 billion there, 10 billion there. Guys, that starts to add up. And these are real jobs, right? So you start pulling people out, and the Americans, you can't, some of these roles that just Americans don't have the talent to do it.
Yeah,
and,
so
what's that?
Trump, he wrote that, oh, please come back and try and train our people, right? But Korean, there's the Korean comment that if you wanna learn, you learn Korean first, then come to Korea, and you spend time learn in Korea with Korean.
Right. So that's something that Americans don't realize, like how much harder people work outside the USA. If just kind of the language of business, right? People learn English, and if English is not your first language in various countries, like they're learning basically a second language to be get a degree and stuff like that. It's all required. I would say most of degree Koreans can probably read a little bit. Doesn't mean they can speak. But they can read.
At least,
Yeah, and so, but the issue though with the say immigration thing. So even though I say, for example, I speak Korean, but like if you gave me a legal contract, do you guys understand? It's like I don't even know what you're talking about.
Even for me, Korean with like law, paper, it's hard to understand.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Would be same for English for me. Like anyone who's looked at a contract or the kind of thing, and a person's got a gun and a mask pointing at you, just like I don't know what's going on. So there was actually my understanding when they're forcing people to sign stuff, there are people like they were trying to guess. Does this mean we can go if we sign it?
Or I'm signing that I'm the criminal.
Yeah.
Right?
So people weren't really sure, and that's when you want to hey, I need to talk to a lawyer. Like everyone knows that concept.
But they say no, right?
Yeah. So I hope you guys understand how terrible the Trump people. I think people watch the channel do know how terrible Trump is, but this is a really different situation than others, mostly because there were so many Koreans. Because what one mentioned is one comment was maybe they come out earlier because it was so many together, like a big international incident. But then other Koreans who were arrested said, I could not have survived without my other people there.
Other people, because
do you guys see what I'm saying? Because if it's just you and then say 10 ICE people, you start to feel crazy because you're all by yourself. But when there's so many of you and you all know each other and stuff, because that'll be another situation where if you go to maybe another ICE facility, perhaps because they were just arresting delivery drivers and stuff like that. So there'd be all these there's delivery drivers and they wouldn't know each other. You'd be scared, so it's a different situation to me. You arrest a whole teams of people who work with each other, so they would. Do you guys see what I'm saying? The you just know each other. It's different. There was something else I thought was interesting. It was when the first people came up, because we can see in a lot of interviews, and there was a mother. And was saying my son has been going to various different countries for 10 years on business trips all the time, and this stuff never happens at other places.
That's why I was so shocked, because we thought you were, and plus it happened right after two presidents met.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
America's kind of our ally and friend.
That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point.
Right after that, they just chain us.
Yeah, so people feel very betrayed. A lot of people are saying, why don't we just bring our people home? And as I've just been describing before, when we look at USA in the news these days, it looks like USA is going to Civil War kind of thing, and it's just not worth the investment. So, in my opinion, I think there's a couple ways you could do this. So one would be just wait 3.5 years.
Yeah,
you could, because you still own the facility, just pay the rent. Later, they literally just shut them. That'd be theoretically you could do that.
Yeah, it'll be hard, but that's the one way.
Yeah, that'd be one way. Another way would be move it to Canada or Mexico, because theoretically, why not? You can do whatever you want, right? The problem is any of these things is, let's say they go to Canada and it takes you a year or 2 years to go, but Trump's gone in 3
years. Yeah.
I'll let the companies, they'll calculate the math, And this would be like where Carney, could be like in Canada, he'd be like, hey, I'll give you a deal, or Scheinbaum, like, hey, I'll give you a deal. And you never know. But right now, I mean, I think people, when we talk through this stuff, I mean, Trump's doing so much damage
You
to
can
America.
really talk to him, even if talk to him after that he changes word all the time. So you can, yeah.
And then the funniest thing is when I told Yeji, there was someone in the comments that was saying like they were watching the Georgia Tech game at the university, and like on the field I was like, who do you think it's sponsored by?
Yeah,
Hyundai. Yeah, and it's like, it's, who does that? You try to make a business deal by like it might actually be the biggest company in the state, and they're like, everyone's watching the football game with Hyundai logo, and other people have been asking too, because I've checked, what is local news saying of like the local governor? They're kind of silent, so I don't get that. The whole thing is bizarre. I know people are afraid of Trump politically, and then you have the Trumpers are like against jobs, like they're what's that?
There's no logic because they want job, but they kick the company who's gonna give a job. So
Doesn't make any sense, right? Make sense at all. That's why it's so. One person, this would be from our community, said that has to more to do with the like American thinking of like no patience, and I want my job next week.
That's why Lutnick says, pay us cash. Who does that?
Yeah, so we talked about in the last video. It's a good point. The Korea, so USA wants an investment from Korea or whatever, right? Yeah, and the Americans keep asking for cash, which is kind of weird. That's been a new thing. I don't know if something's wrong with America.
What kind of stupid company does the country does that? Even if we have that money, if we give them money, we are bankrupt basically. Like that's what happened to IMF.
They want 20% of the Korean GDP.
Crazy.
It's just ludicrous. So it's like
Then the people better say, just shut the we better pay tariff. Actually, you pay America pay the tariff and just give that money to a Korea company.
Now, people have been asking, and I'm going to answer this one also because I try to answer all your questions, what's going on with the American military bases. So this is an interesting one. There's been people in Korea now saying, well, why don't we just build our own nuclear weapons here? Because and then we don't need to worry about American bases or anything like that at all. So that is certainly a thing. And then if you guys don't know, Koreans make their own weapons now. They make jets, they make tanks, all kinds of stuff. So so then it depends. It depends how up to date you are with Korea. There are some Americans that think Korea is like really poor, I think, and it's kind of weird.
Talking.
Yeah, the way that they talk like Korea, like say 100 years ago, kind of in their minds.
Like that, they didn't. I'm sure that they don't even have passport.
Yeah, so or they don't even know where Korea is on the map. I'm being a little bit mean, but it's just it's hard to explain because like for example,
maybe their whole dream is going to Disneyland, something like that.
Yeah, they wish a little bit mean now. But for example, though, in the Washington Post, and they just did an article on K-pop Demon Hunters. So that's a Netflix show. If you don't know, that's actually an American show, but a lot of Korean talent, both Korean American and Korean, and then they're promoting Korean culture, right? And so it's actually really funny. CU is like a convenience store.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a 7-Eleven kind of thing. So what have they been reporting lately?
CU?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about this. I don't know about the CU. I just know about the ramen company.
Yeah. They're selling a bunch of ramen.
Nongshim is the company.
Yeah.
The food company in Korea. Their stock is going crazy.
Yeah. We should have bought a whole bunch of that, right?
You're not smart enough.
Ramen stock. Well, the way the markets work, it's not about smart. It's just like
we kind of knew that K-pop Demon Hunters got popular, but not this much popular.
I didn't know there was a ramen stock, so we should have bought the ramen stock. But anyway, according to the thing I saw today was like food sales or whatever at the CU has gone up 185%. So people are just running, and this is like all around the world because I guess they have these stores everywhere. So the reason why I mention that is because there's definitely a generation of people who understand that Korea is not like poor and weak, because a lot of the Americans that say mean things are just like they act like Korea's nothing, and it's kind of weird because Korea's the ones who's building the factories and teaching you technology. So I don't. What?
Yeah, if you're using iPhone, they even use Korea, display
Absolutely.
chips.
And people actually mentioned too, like say any kind of vehicle these days, all the screens are going to be from Korea. Like,
LG.
yeah, LG is really good at screens. All your TVs in your houses, even if the brand may not necessarily be Korean brand, it could still be an LG screen, right? Phone screen, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's just some stuff. There's a ton of stuff from Korea. Just mention that because
Yeah.
Korean what's the word to say it kind of feel disrespected like if you think they're just low workers.
Not kind of, they did.
Okay, very disrespected.
Yeah.
Dishonored, etc. So this is not the end of this, and I'm actually quite curious how myself how this is going to play out because we're just finding out about this stuff on Monday, and we're still just hearing the stories of what happened to the people. And the other big one I'm curious was someone drew a map of the place, and the picture that they showed of us like had about I don't know we'll say more than half of it was blocked out. So I don't know if the person's like writing down names of people or specific like sensitive information. We just don't know. I'm just saying more stuff's going to come out, and I'm pretty sure Koreans are going to sue, and there's going to all sorts of things because like you can sue for just someone saying just sue just for the losing your salary for the last couple of weeks or whatever, or Hyundai could sue for. And then someone else mentioned we have a great community. Our community is smart. It's not just the Hyundai plant; it's all the businesses around
Yeah.
that are
The
affected.
whole town is damaged.
Absolutely. So just want to have a real talk with you guys on the real impact of people. That's Edie's thoughts, and thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. So bye.